Okay, the geniuses will see us now.
I'm a pro.
He's very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
These are our newly arrived surgeons, Doctors Trowbridge and Greenbaum.
Doctor?
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 We're not doctors.
Are you sure they can handle this?
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
You'll forgive us if we're not instilled with confidence.
Potentially unprofessional pieces of content.
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
This
everybody.
is Dr. Trevor and his
Welcome
sidekick
back.
with a high-pitched voice that everyone kind of hates, but no one
I just
says
had
it.
dinner, man. I just had dinner it was helium, actually.
Okay.
Dr. Ken.
We are anonymous medical residents. Well, he is. I'm not. We
Almost.
give you unfiltered thoughts on the latest scoop of health and medicine, as well as mental health and sexual health. And by that, I mean, we just talk about our own health and our own sexual stuff.
Yeah, both of us have zero such experience.
We're both virgins.
We're living vicariously through others.
Hey, we've done lots of research on it, though. So the fact that we're virgins doesn't matter. We don't need the
Pornhub.
actual...
I think I've done a lot of research in the Pornhub ebony category.
Oh, God. So he's an expert on Black women. So you guys, if you have any questions, you go to Dr. Ken. Okay.
Yeah. Black women, if you have any sexual health problems, you know, it's so funny. It's actually the opposite.
Well, no,
So
if you
it
have
should
any
be-
questions about African Americans or if African American ladies, if you have any questions about your health, your sexual health, anything, Dr. Ken will know all about it. So you go to him.
Yeah. And if you're single and looking to mingle, Dr. Trevor will we can help you out with that.
Yeah. And by that, we mean have sex with you, not pair you with somebody who's,
Yeah, exactly.
ideal for you.
Dr. Trevor gets first dibs.
That's so fucked up. In the last pod we talked, oh God, I did already. Fuck. Yeah, we talked about this like Mormon group in Utah that was like extreme like fundamentalists, and then they I don't know, the main guy pretty much just took like 70 of the women in the small village and just were his wives. So,
17 is not enough.
no, yeah, 70.
70.
Yeah, is that enough?
Oh, okay. Every one for every day of tuna, a third a month.
A new one.
He alternates.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, those girls, bro.
Oh,
Imagine being like the
poor
ugly side
girls.
of like the 270, or no, the 70.
that's what you're thinking about? The ugly
'cause
side
then-
of the 70?
Yeah,
my
whoever
God.
the ugliest is, like she never gets sex, and she's like, "What the fuck?" Like,
You're not thinking about maybe the possible age variance or like the fact that
oh,
he's not going to be, emotionally fulfilling for any of these girls, and that they're pretty much just his slaves, essentially.
I'm
Like
sure
you're not thinking
they're-
about any of that. You're thinking about the ugly side of the 70.
I'm sure they're there for each other. The girls like have mutual support.
Oh, so then it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's okay,
Oh,
but
oh.
it's just like
It makes
it's
it's a
reality.
silver line.
Like I always tell my mom, bro, it's reality. You just have to accept it. Okay. Like we can't change
Jesus
it. Might as well just we're not gonna change it. Might as well just accept it and like move on.
Oh, what is that Lord's Prayer where it's like accept the things you can't change and wait, what is it? It's
It sounds like blasphemy, bro. This is not something I've ever heard.
I'm gonna fucking look it up later.
Hmm.
But tell me, bro, you just moved to New York. New York.
Yeah, bro. New York.
Suck my dick. I'm in New York. How is it?
Actually, a guy at the airport told me that when I was coming here.
He told you to suck his dick?
Yeah, suck my dick.
As he
It was
should.
actually the worst day of my life coming here. Honestly, bro, this is actually gonna be a mental health episode because I went through so much shit that day. Like it broke me, and I didn't think I would be like breakable. Before I came here, I had no stress, and I wasn't expecting to be stressed when I came here. But
You weren't,
the
huh?
lowest,
Bold.
mentally lowest point of my life, bro. It was so
Jesus,
bad.
are you serious?
Yeah.
Your whole life.
Worst.
You've been
Yeah.
around for 20. Well, should we say your
7.
age? You've been around, yeah,
Whatever.
27
Fuck
years.
it. Yeah, worst. I'm definitely lowest moment of my life, bro.
Why? What the fuck?
So, I was leaving home at like 10:30. I wake up early in the morning, like 7:30 a.m. just getting ready. I get an email, my flight's delayed by like an hour and a bit, and I only had a 2-hour layover. So I was like, oh fuck, like I'm probably gonna miss my next flight because I gotta go through security, gotta go through American customs, which always takes fucking long as hell. So anyway, I got my flight ticket. It's delayed more when I get there, so it ends up being delayed so much that I get there right before my next flight. And when I step off the airplane, I get a bunch of emails that I've been rebooked like 3 times, and I had 3 different flights. And I was like, well, which one am I fucking going to? So I had to find some like representative who told me, okay, this is the flight you're going on. The others have been canceled. I was like, okay, great. Which already wasted a bunch of time. So I had about 2 hours to make my next flight, but everything's taking so fucking long, bro. Like going through the airport, I had to wait for my checked bags to like make it to the next side of the airport before I could go. So my check bags took like another 20 minutes or something.
Okay.
Then I went through like the security to get to the American side of the airport so I could fly here. And
So far, this is not that crazy, man.
That's when the real trouble started.
Okay.
So I went to the the immigrations guy, right? And I was like, hey, I need a J1 visa. I'm entering as a resident physician. And he's like, looks at me, he's like, we don't give J1 visas here.
We don't give J1 visas to Indians, he says.
Here. I know you were joking, but I'm just saying. For anyone who thought he was serious, he's not. So
thanks for that clarification.
My heart dropped. I was like, holy fuck, like what the hell am I supposed to do? I was like, are you sure? Like, my school said I could get it here. And he's like, no, we don't give J1 here. You have to apply through USCIS. And I was like, what's that? He's like, you just have to apply through USCIS. I was like, well, I have all my documents and everything. And he's like, it doesn't matter. We don't give J1s here. You have to go through USCIS. I was like, okay, what is USCIS? Like, how do I find it? He's like, just Google it. I was like, thanks for the fucking like extensive information you're giving me. Just Google it. Like, I know I can fucking Google it. I'm asking you. And I was like, well, I'm starting work in like 2 weeks. So like, how long is it going to take? He's like, it's going to take a lot longer than 2 weeks.
He fucking laughs at you.
I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Probably got a shit-eating grin on his face.
He basically was. He loved my suffering.
Oh my God.
And I was like, this guy's so unhelpful. He's just like telling me. And I was really hoping that like our old roommate, who I don't know what we're calling now, I was like, man, I wish he was here because he would know what to do.
Dr. Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel. We're going back to that then. And so the guy's like, I can give you like a tourist visa, but you can't do any work. I was like, okay, whatever you can give me. And so as soon as he stamped it, I fucking sprinted, bro. I sprinted to like find a seat. I opened my backpack, took my laptop out, typed in USCIS, looked it up, apply for J1. My computer shuts off. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? My computer is unresponsive, bro. It's dead. The charging was full. I charged it before I left, but it's been acting up and it keeps shutting off by itself. And
so you're fucking panicking at this point.
Bro, I was shitting myself. It was so tough. And so I was like freaking out. I called my dad. I told him what happened. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense because I had a time to think about it. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Like the sheet that I got from like ECFMG, who sponsors like me and other like international medical graduates, I was like, they said I can get the visa at the border. So it doesn't make sense. And he's like, okay, send it to me. So I sent it to him.
I have a quick observation. Nobody goes through more acronyms than international medical students.
Yeah.
Not medical students, one, or like doctors, and then international ones, bro. No one's got more acronyms than us.
Everything is a fucking acronym for us for some reason.
Maybe military personnel, but anyway.
It makes life easier. So I sent him the sheet and he's like, yeah, you should be able to get it. He's like, do you have all the documents you need? And I was like, yeah, I told the guy, but he said they don't give J1s. And I was like, at this point, I only had like 45 minutes or something until my flight was boarding. And he's like, and I was like, maybe I should just go through security again, go to another guy, show them this sheet that I have, and then, go from there.
Okay.
Get them to, because I'm pretty sure I should be able to get it. And he's like, do you have time? And I was like, yeah. He's like, if you miss the flight, we can book another flight. Just like go through it again. I was like, okay. Good. So you can't actually exit that side of the airport. You can't go back to the step because you've already passed security. So I tried to go through the door. The alarm went off. The security called me and I was like, hey, I need to go back to security to go through again to get the visas or to get to like the customs place. And they're like, you can get like a representative of the airport who has clearance to take you. So I found this chick. who was hot as hell, by the way. She was super hot.
What race
Her name
was
was
she?
Stephanie. I have no idea. She had I don't know, actually, maybe like mixed race. It was hard to tell.
Oh, okay. Why was she hot?
She just had nice eyes, bro.
Oh,
Very nice eyes.
very cerebral of you. Okay, continue.
Well, she was wearing a mask, so it was hard to tell anything else. So I found her. She said she could take me, so she took me back to the security. She's like, but I can't take you past security. Like, I need someone with a purple badge, but I only have yellow badge, so I don't have enough clearance to take you. And I was like, okay. She was like talking to some other people. She's like, who can take him? So she called someone with purple clearance. No one was coming. So she's like, you might as well just go because I think it's going to take too long. And I was like, okay.
They're like, now I
So
need
get
someone with a green belt in jiu-jitsu to be able to get you across this next fucking one.
Yeah, I needed every color of the rainbow, bro. Every color of the pride flag to help me.
Should have worn one. Should have been a supporter.
They knew I was a homophobe, and they're like, get this guy out of here.
If you were an ally, you would have went right through.
So I'm standing in line and I see a guy with a purple badge and I like wave him over and I tell him my story. I was like, hey, I was in the other side of the airport. I think I got the wrong visa from customs. I just need to go back there. He's like, you have to wait in line. I was like, yeah, but my flight's leaving soon. Like, I've already been through all this. Like, is there any way you can let me go? Or like, let me take like the special assistance line so I can at least jump the line. He's like, sorry, bro, you got to wait in line. And then I was like, well, what if like the other girl tells you like, and I didn't finish my sentence, but like I meant, what if she tells you that like she brought me here and like, she was looking for someone with the purple badge. And I think he took it to be like, what if she tells you to take me? And he's like, no one tells me to do anything. I'm the manager here. And I was like, what the fuck? Like the smallest flex I've ever seen in my life. Like, all right, bro, congrats, you're a manager.
He's like,
thanks.
He's literally got a ruler up to his dick size. Like, look.
He was flexing on me, but he was only flexing his lats. So I could barely see anything. And I was pissed, bro. I was like, this guy's fucking retarded. Like, he didn't listen to me at all. Just kept saying, wait in line, wait in line, wait in line. So whatever, I wait in line. It's going super slow. I get through customs, and the last time I was there was like probably 10, 15 stations open. And now that I'm there, there's 3 stations open. So it takes even fucking longer for me to get through.
How much time has passed since you first like entered the airport, or like since this all started?
So when I got there, I had 2 hours till my next flight. And at this point, or 2 hours until boarding. And at this point, I have about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So it's very little time. And I get to, the customs guy. I was like, okay, like I was through here already. The other guy didn't give me a visa. Like he said, you guys don't give J1 visas here, but I have this sheet from the ECFMG, and I was like sliding my laptop under his like,
Screen
wall
thing,
or whatever, the glass wall. And he's like, stops me. He's like, do you have your sheet? Do you have a form? I was like, no, but I have all my documents. Like, what do you need? And I said something else. I was like, no, I don't have my form. And he was like, as long as you have your form, don't have your form, like I can't help you. And I was like, what form are you talking about? He's like, the DS 2019. And I was like, yeah, I have the fucking DS 2019, bro. It's in my bag. And he's like, that's all I need. And I was like, okay, so I'm supposed to know what you mean when you say, do you have your form?
You go to him and he's just like, do you have it? You're like, what the fuck?
Give it to me. Give it to me right now.
Give it to me. I can't let you through if you don't have it. What?
So I gave him my form. The entire time, bro, he's giving me so much attitude. He was the guy. He was like, who's the guy who helped you last time? And I was like, I don't know who he was, but he was at like number 25 or something.
But he thinks he has a huge dick and it's not big.
Yeah. He's like, did you show him this form? I was like, no, but I told him I had all my documents. And he's like, but did you show him this form? I was like, no. And he's like, that's why you should have shown him this form. I was like, the guy fucking told me no J1 visas at the border. Like, what am I supposed to think about that?
It's on you, bro. It's on you.
It was so frustrating, man. Cause I'm like, this is your job. All right. You tell me what I have to give to you. Like, this guy was convinced that he's not able to give a J1 visa. So the fact that like, he would ask me for the form, like it wasn't even in his mind because he thought it was impossible. And it's so annoying because this happened to me 2 times now where I've been through customs and someone gave me the wrong information or the wrong thing. So the guy literally gave me a J1 visa in, not even kidding, 2 minutes. He just had to put some things in on his computer and that was it. Sprint to my flight. my flight's fucking delayed.
Ha ha.
It was an hour and a half flight, and I was supposed to get there at 10 or get here at 10. And that was fine because my landlord's kind of like a hard ass. Hopefully he doesn't hear me, but he's like, if you're gonna come past 12, then I prefer you come tomorrow because I have an early meeting tomorrow. The fucking guy works from home, and I'm like, you just have to wake up, bro. Like, just wake up. You can go back to sleep after if you want, but chill. But like it was delayed by like half an hour, so I landed at 10:30. I was like, okay, maybe I can get home in an hour. It only took me 20 minutes to leave the airport and get my bags and everything. And I'm trying to get a taxi. So there was a taxi stand and Uber, but they were like 5-minute walk from each other. So you had to commit. And I looked on the Uber app. There's only like 1 or 2 Ubers and they're taken instantly. Like there's so much demand, so little supply. And so I was like, I guess I'll go for taxis. There's a lot of taxis coming. And so like, I'm pretty far back in the line, but they're coming really fast. I'm like going through the line. At this point, it's been like 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, I can get out of here at like 11 and I won't have to wait too long. And there's only 2 people in front of me. The next taxi takes 15 minutes to come. So it's been 35 minutes. And then 40 minutes later is when I get my taxi. So it's 11:30 at this point. And I get in the taxi. It's 30 minutes to like my apartment or whatever. And I'm like shitting myself. I get here. The landlord's at least nice. He's like very welcoming. He's like, yeah, good to see you.
And at this point, you shit yourself twice. So you're smelly.
Bro, more than 2 times. He takes me inside the apartment and it fucking sucks, bro.
Oh no.
He sent me a video and everything, but like it didn't show like the details. Like it's a little bit older and like it smells older. The furniture in here like looks older. The oven looks like it's from the 80s or something. The fridge looks like it's from the 90s.
Did it look like that in the pictures?
No, the pictures, it was hard to tell, but it looked very nice in the pictures. But I called my parents after that and I told them everything that happened. And then I hung up with them and the sense of like isolation set in.
Yeah, that's classic, dude.
I broke down, bro.
No way.
All that stress that was building up, like it just overwhelmed me, bro. Like I was actually telling my friend this and he's like, bro, you've been there before. What's the big deal?
I know, but it's not like that. Bro, I had a similar experience when I went to Grenada for I think like the 2nd or 3rd time when we came back. And I don't know, man, like I moved into a new place, which it was literally the same apartment complex, but a different apartment. And I've literally been on the island before. I had people I knew, but I moved in, bro. I set my shit aside and I'm just like, oh my fucking God. Like, oh no, like I don't like this at all. You feel so isolated. You feel like you're like, I just want to fucking go back to whatever I had, dude.
I just want to fucking die, bro. That's what I felt.
Dude, it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling.
Yeah. And like the difference was like every other time I've been to New York, I either had Anastasia or you and Gabriel or, someone else. I had a bunch of people that I knew here. But now everyone's gone. Like I'm all alone and like very few people are in the city. And it all like hit me at once. And like with all the stress of the day, like, bro, I was like having a panic attack or something. Like my heart was beating fast. I couldn't breathe. I felt like throwing up. I felt like crying. Oof. It was not a good experience.
It's like taking those edibles all over again.
Bro, worse, way worse. I would take the edibles. I would take the edibles.
You were dying on those.
No. I wouldn't take the edibles. Never mind. I just remembered what they were like. They were pretty bad.
You were fucking dying. You were on your deathbed. That was crazy.
I was dying in different ways for both situations.
Yeah. This one's more emotional.
So what happened next? Oh yeah. So I was like starting to unpack because I was like, all right, my bed's still inflating. Like I got a memory foam bed, so it takes like a couple hours to like get firm.
Those are the shit, by the way. If you're moving somewhere new, especially like New York or something, you just get that Amazon foam bed. Woof, shit's good.
So good. And
they just come out of the box and they just fucking pop up after a day. It's so good.
I love them. Cheap and comfy,
dude. And did I tell you? Yeah, I think you sold it for me. I sold my bed, my used bed in New York somehow for almost the same price I bought it for off Amazon. It was crazy.
Linen Spa. Yeah, those 2 girls didn't want to like they haggle me at all.
Yeah, they're young, right? And they're like, well, we're already here, and I have my friend out to carry this for me, so I'll just bring it, even though there's like sweat stains on it that I didn't know were there.
Yeah, there was like cum stains, and I was like, what the fuck, bro?
There wasn't cum stains.
There was so much cum on that bed. They're like, what is this? I was like, it'll wash out. And they're like, okay.
Just an insane amount of cum on the bed.
I'm sure it'll wash out.
It was covered in like a clay pot material type because the semen dried.
I was like, it's the design of the bed. Design of the bed.
Yeah. Okay. So this isn't where the story ends. So you feel horrible that evening. You can't sleep on your bed because it's blowing up.
Yeah. So I was gonna unpack, and like as soon as I started unpacking, I'm like, I can't fucking pack. And it was like 12:15, and it was like a little bit later, and I was like, I don't want to worry my parents. And so I called one of my friends in like on the West Coast, because it was only 9 p.m. and like I talked to him for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and he like walked me off the edge. And he's like, bro, just like take a nap, or no, go to bed. Don't do anything tonight. Handle tomorrow differently. Like, give me a call in the morning and I'll talk to you. He just gave me a lot of tips, and he was like, just talk to me. And it felt a lot better.
That's very sweet of him.
Yeah. As soon as I put my head on the bed, I knocked out.
Oh, shit. That's good. Yeah, I mean, that was a stressful last day, plus all the travel.
I was so fucking tired.
It's good you didn't call me, because I wouldn't have answered.
I know you never have your phone on you.
But no, it's funny. This chick that I was seeing, she was like, she was telling me a story about how she moved for the day to a new place. And she's like, oh, I had called up, and this was actually like kind of sad and hard to hear. She's like, I called up some simps and they just like helped me move. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, and they were just very excited to see me and hang out with me. And then, once it was all done, it's like, okay, have a good day. They're like, oh, what are you doing now? Just like, well, I'm gonna finish, moving in, but you guys take care. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then she was telling me about it. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know how to react. But anyway, then she's like, what if I called you? Would you have helped me move? No. No.
After she said she's getting her Sims to help her move.
Yeah. What am I supposed to say? Oh, of course I would help you, princess. You just fucking used two dudes.
It's so funny how she's like saying it up front, like, yeah, I got my Sims to help me.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're like very open with someone, they're more willing to, reveal the evil shit about themselves. Or I guess I don't know if evil is the word there, but things they wouldn't reveal to most people.
I think it's fair. Like, girls live with so much like danger and like risk in the world.
They should get some benefits. Yeah. I feel that actually. And if these guys are happy to oblige, then that's on them, like.
Yeah. But you are a simp, bro. Like, you would have went.
I am a little.
Let's not kid her.
I'm a little baby simp.
Let's not kid our viewers, okay? They know what you're really like.
Bro, if she tells me to fucking lay down in a puddle so she can walk over me so that she doesn't get her goddamn pretty little shoes wet,
bro,
I'm on it before she finishes her sentence. I'm like that guy at the airport.
You would drink that.
I would
water,
drink that
so
puddle
no risk.
up.
So there's no risk of her even getting wet.
Puke my guts out for the next 3 days. And then she asked me, oh, I hope you feel okay after that. And I would tell her, I feel great. I feel great just being able to do that for you.
Yeah. I'm sure it's helping me in some way.
Yeah.
I would do it again.
This feeling I'm getting from helping you trumps this absolute diarrhea and massive projectile vomiting I've been experiencing.
But you do that for everyone though. That's the thing.
That's true. Mostly for pretty girls. I'm kind of just like a piece of shit to a lot of other people though too.
Yeah.
Like if they're not like service, if I don't think I can have sex with them eventually after helping them out for years.
You're just a very nice guy, but you just expect sex in return.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you don't get it, you're mad.
I get fucking so pissed because then I wasted all this time and you should be having sex with me instead.
Yeah, but you didn't waste it because you helped someone, but you're still pissed.
Yeah. I guess I'll just have to help the next girl for years and then I know she'll put out for me.
Yeah.
Because she'll owe me.
The more you do for them, the more likely they are to put out.
That's true. Good advice.
You know that better than anyone. That's the thing.
Yeah.
How long have you been like simping for this last girl? 8 months.
Well, I mean, 8 years. It depends on what girl you're talking about.
Oh, okay. The most recent one.
Most recent one,
Yeah.
my entire lifetime.
Oh, your entire.
Yeah.
And
Since-
you guys have kissed, right?
and we're talking about my mom right now.
She
And
doesn't
yes, we
even
have.
acknowledge you. She doesn't even acknowledge you.
Anything I could do for her, I mean, I'm there.
I'm glad it's at least your mom who like birthed you and not some rando.
So I on a different note, I had a lecture. This was back when I was in the ED rotation, my last one. And I just thought this was such a fucking crazy thing to hear. So this chick who I wanted to have on the pod, but I fucking don't remember her name, which sucks. She's in the military. She's emergency medicine physician. She finished residency at that last place I was at. And then she went into the military, and they fucking do whatever they want with you. So they put her in this fucking, I mean, they put her on the front lines, and she's an emergency medicine physician on the front lines with patrol groups like in Afghanistan, like under heavy fire, and she's just walking with them with an assault rifle. You know what I mean? Like she knows, she has to know how to fight as good as these like grunts.
Yeah,
So anyway, what a fucking crazy way to go into the military. But then, some people are like dying in front of her or getting shot, and then she has to run into fire to like pull them out type shit. But one of the crazy, I mean, there was some tons of crazy shit. That's why I wanted to have her on the pod. But one of the crazy things she said is, so if there is multiple casualties, she has to have different priorities, right? So let's say that there's three different things injured, right, or dying in front of you. One of them is your buddy who's like military personnel. Okay, you obviously save him first. Then there's two others. There's a civilian who's bleeding to death, and there's a military dog that is bleeding out too. You save the military dog before the human life.
Yeah.
And you don't get a choice. Like they will be like,
you don't get a choice.
They will reprimand you. You kidding me? You don't get any goddamn choice in the military. I think that's kind of like a thing you see in the movies a little, where you go, I won't do that, officer. And then but in real life, I think they just go, okay, bye. Like, and then you just fucking don't work there anymore,
But is that so bad, being not in the military?
What?
Isn't it? That's a good thing though.
Yeah, but I'm sure you get rid of all of your benefits though. You know what I mean?
So
you have to do what they say.
I understand it though. Like, why would you want to like risk some Iraqi or save an Iraqi that you just bombed over like this dog that's done so much for you, Like, these are the people you're trying to kill.
Well, and I think the civilians? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bro. They
sure.
bomb them all the time.
I guess you would know, man. You would probably be one of the people getting bombed and do the bombing.
Yeah, honestly. Best of both worlds. I was gonna ask you, do you feel like you got punched in the face still?
Oh yeah. So I got my well, let me start from the beginning. So I got my wisdom teeth taken out, but I thought I was going in to get a root canal. Okay. So I thought I was getting just a goddamn root canal on this front tooth. So they're just gonna, whatever, it's gonna be 20 minutes. They take it out, put a crown on. That's it. Okay. Bang, bang, boom. I thought, just be a little numb on the front. Bro, instead I go in, that's next week. This week, I'm getting 4 wisdom teeth removed. I literally have a date set up for like 10 minutes after my goddamn
You still can go, bro. It's not that much blood.
And so I thought it'd be funny to ask the dentist. Yeah, I mean, of course, at this point, I'm like, there's no fucking way I can go on this date. My mouth would be completely numb. I'm gonna sound like an idiot. I'll sound like a complete retard, and then it'll hurt. You know what I mean? Or like I'll be literally bleeding, which I was.
Bro, you'll be bleeding a lot.
A lot. Yeah, I have 4 gaping wounds in my mouth.
Isn't there like every 3 hours or something you change those like pads or whatever?
Well, yeah, I had to change them once. But my mouth was full of blood for hours after after I was done. But anyway, so I asked the dentist just because I thought it'd be funny while they numb me up, and then we're waiting for it to get done, and I'm like, so I'll be pretty numb after this, huh? Like I won't be able to talk very much. And he's like, yeah, but the more numb, the better, right? I'm like, yeah. But I just have a date after. So they're like crying laughing, and then he's like, well, I'll tell you what, I probably wouldn't go on this date unless you're trying to get major sympathy points, but if that's not the case, then I wouldn't do it. I'm like, yeah, definitely not at that point yet, seeing as I've never met this person. Yeah, so that was funny. But anyway, I get done, absolutely sound retarded. I look like a wrestler from like the 1960s with like my whole like wrapped headband thing with the double ice packs. And I mean, dude, imagine if I would have went on that date and just said fuck it, just for the laughs. I could have, like,
you would get arrested probably.
Bro, my my mind, now that I'm like trying to like whatever make this happen, or was trying to make it happen, is how do I make this something go viral? And so I literally, first thing I think of is, dude, what if I went on this date just like this, mouth full of blood, like even though I'm spitting it out, it's still refilling, just can't talk, I sound retarded. What if I went on this date, had my brother with a hidden camera, and I'm mic'd up for us? Bro, that shit would go viral. You can't tell me you're doing
that would be fucking crazy, bro.
That would be crazy. And I was genuinely considering it, and my brother was like, dude, I'm down, like if you want to do it. I was this close to doing it, bro, but then I hit a wall because I just had goddamn facial surgery, and I'm like, holy shit, I am exhausted, and I'm like bleeding extra from my mouth now. I replaced the pads, I take my antibiotic and my ibuprofen, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I gotta sit down. So I didn't do it, but I thought that'd be fucking hilarious.
Did they give you anesthesia when you did it?
No anesthesia. They said they were erupted enough that it wasn't necessary, so they just gave me the local anesthetic, and it worked out super good. It actually wasn't painful at all, like zero pain, which was kind of crazy. Even though they fucking are ripping out the roots of your goddamn tooth. That's just crazy.
When I got mine, bro, after I came out, like I was out of my mind, bro.
After you came out of the closet?
Yeah, out of the closet, and when I came out of the surgery, like,
oh gosh,
it was
that's quite
I don't know
the
what
day.
they had me on. Yeah, it was usually I don't know if this is like a US thing, but I hear a lot of people who get it done in the US don't get like anesthesia, but like everyone in Canada gets it for some, like, unless you go to a place that's not like licensed for it. But most of my friends got anesthesia, and like everyone's just like, we have a lot of videos of like different people just like fucked, like after they come out. They're just like loopy, can't walk, like it's so funny.
Well, apparently my bro, he was like aggressively flirting with nurses after he got his anesthesia.
Yeah,
he did his.
But like, is that normal for him, or is it?
I mean, it's normal for his mentality. I don't know if he normally aggressively flirts with women, but
this is the married one, right?
No, this is the one I'm living with right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to tell you about my Hinge experience.
Tell me, bro. I've been hitting dating apps too.
Yeah. How's it going for you?
It's going good.
Well, you're like a white guy, bro. So how can it not be good?
Why did you jump on the race train?
It's always, the thing is, it's always good for white guys,
dude.
I don't know what it is.
You jumped on it so fast. It's not. You haven't heard anything of what I'm saying yet. You don't know whether it's actually.
I just know it's gonna be positive, bro. It's gonna be.
Bro, I've put so much time and effort into getting good at dating and all this shit. You have no fucking idea. How dare you just claim race in 2 seconds in, and I didn't even tell you whether it was difficult or not. It's still been a lot of time and effort. Like, there's been lucky breaks, of course, but like, yeah.
But I was born white, so
I was born white, so that's actually pretty fucking good.
How can things go wrong?
Tell me, dude, how's it been? You've been in New York for like a few days. Like, you need to relax.
Yeah, so
I can tell.
That's already the thing. Like, I saw, when I first got here, I think a day or two after I got here, I saw like a couple of my friends that were leaving soon. So that was nice, but like I was still like super lonely here because I have like basically no one. And so my friends recommended I get Hinge, and I'm not really looking for like hookups or anything. If I do, great, I can't complain, but it's mostly like just meeting more people. And if something comes out of it, great, but I'm not really looking for anything.
That is not a good perspective to have. Okay, continue.
But anyway, it's been weird, like Hinge back in like, my hometown, it's super shitty. Like I get very few matches. I don't know what it is. I think like it's a very like white part of Canada, and I think they just want like white people, which is fine, you know, it's whatever. But here it's been crazy. Like I've been getting so many matches. I probably got like 20 matches in like the past 2 days or something. No, since I've been here, 20, so like 4 days. Um, and I got 2 dates already. So
Damn, let's go,
yeah,
son.
I got my first date tomorrow and another one next weekend. This girl is like she was very tentative about like meeting up. I don't think tentative is the right word, but whatever.
But you pushed for it
Sh-
or what?
So no, I didn't push for it. She's like, you know, would you want to have like a phone conversation instead first? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then she's like, all right, well, we can do something next weekend. I was like, okay, sounds good. I'm not doing anything. So whenever is good for me.
Wait, so you're doing a phone conversation next weekend?
No, phone conversation
Oh.
sometime this week, and then meeting up next
Have
weekend.
you guys talked yet? Have you called each other?
No.
The fuck? Why wouldn't you just do it like right there or something?
We've been busy, so
Mm.
it's been wild. But I still get the same thing. Like it's super annoying. Like my strategy for this time is like I'll talk to them for like a few hours and be like, do you want to grab like coffee sometime or something? You know, just like
What do you mean? Like message for a few hours?
yeah.
Okay.
And like try to set up a date or something. But
Yeah.
it's so annoying. Like I keep getting ghosted. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
And I still feel like a lot of girls have, I don't know what's going on, but like they like a picture of mine, but they won't send a message. Like when you like, you have the option to send a message with
Yeah.
it, but they don't do that.
Yeah, that's pretty common. Because
And
they just don't want to like start it off or whatever, you know?
yeah, but it's so weird. Like I don't understand. And you get very few likes with Hinge. So I'm like, why are you wasting a like and not even like doing anything? So like the enthusiastic ones are like better because like, you know, they're like more into it and more willing to
Yeah,
meet
but
up,
you can pull through on the less enthusiastic ones. I think that's a major mistake from a lot of guys.
Mhm.
Like they give
But
up.
like I keep messaging them, but you know, if they're really boring, like that one other girl I sent you today, actually I'm getting Hinge match right now. No, it's been pretty good. But for some reason Hinge thinks I only want to like go out with like brown girls.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's giving me literally 90% brown girls and the other 10% of everything else.
Bro,
And
it's so funny. Hinge was giving me all the white people at first too. Now it just gives me like 80% black chicks. It's pretty funny.
How did you get it to like do that?
So it asks like, first of all, I think it keeps track of who you swipe right and left on, but I think it definitely also does if you put we met. So I've already met a couple of the chicks and all the ones I met so far have been black. So of course it's it's gonna be like, all right, we get it, we fucking understand.
You have kind of a preference, we're seeing a pattern.
We fucking understand. You don't have to keep shoving it down our throats.
You're in the widest part of the world and you've only met up with the 2 black chicks that live there. So
so that's how my Hinge has been. And then I have other stories too. I just don't know how fun they are, but they are informative. That is for sure.
Are you still on Tinder as well, or just Hinge?
Yeah, I'm on them too, but Tinder just at least in this area does not supply at all. And Bumble has supplied, but it's been like one girl who was like DTF instantaneously. Literally one message in, she calls me and it's pretty, I mean, she didn't say it directly, but it was pretty much like, I'll just come over whenever you want. And like, I'll come over right now. And I just said, okay.
Oh, okay. Are you still living at home, right?
No, I'm living with my brother, but he's gone this weekend too. But
okay, so you're like, my parents aren't home, and she just sprinted over.
Essentially, that's what happened. Yeah.
Wow, that's sick.
Well, and another thing is she was going to use her car, but it's at her parents' place, but her parents are strict. So, and then she's like, can you drive to me? And I'm like, no. And she's like, why? She's like, do you not drive? I'm like, well, I do, but my car is kind of on the fritz, which it kind of is, but I could drive there, but I didn't want to. So then she's like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. And she's like, I'll take my car. So, but she doesn't, because she doesn't want to interact with her parents and just be like, hey, so I'm going to go fuck this guy, and so she takes an Uber, which is, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to me. Like she's like literally spent money to have sex. So
And she paid $40 one
yeah,
way.
$40 to get that
So, there's guys that pay for sex,
Yeah.
guys that like travel for sex, and then
There it
there's
is.
you.
And
Who, like, if it's not on a silver platter, you're like, I don't want it.
But here's the thing, what's crazy is when you I'm starting to realize, and kind of always known a little bit, is if you like push for that stuff, or don't even push for it and just be like, well, I guess we can't hang out, then then they'll be like, okay, and then they will drum up something if they really want it to hang out with you. You know what I mean? And on top of that, now they're like more attracted because they're like, oh, I did all this stuff to go see him, I must really like this guy. You know what I mean? And it's like a dominant type thing. It's like, oh man, if this guy is not that interested in like moving heaven and earth to come see me, he must like do pretty well for himself. Then that makes him more attractive. It's true, bro. It's true. I wish it wasn't like that, but that's how it fucking is.
Have you seen would you say like over messages you're like a nice guy, or you're like a bad boy?
I'm between neutral and bad boy depending on like the window of opportunity.
Okay, I think you got to go extreme. You got to go from bad to toxic.
Why? Why do you recommend this?
It's just so fucking funny, man. The toxic guys.
What do you mean?
So there's this guy on TikTok, right? And like he always starts his TikToks with like a mirror selfie of himself. And then he posts like his message thread of like with some girl, and the girl will be like, hey, I don't think I want to do this anymore. He's like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't want to date anymore. He's like, I thought we were just hanging out. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you like this, Andrew? And then like he says some other bullshit like,
I don't get it. So they've hung out already?
Yeah, it's like usually like
they've already been sleeping together?
Yeah, some girl he's like hooking up with, and like
okay.
she's like, oh, I don't think I can do this. I need you to commit. There's different ones.
Okay.
And he's always like, what do you mean? We're just like friends, right? And at the end of the video, he always sends them like a link to play like iPhone Battleship game or some iPhone Connect 4, and they freak the fuck out. It's so funny. And his video always ends with "stay toxic," and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's so fucked up. That's hilarious with the battle thing or whatever. But
I gotta send you those videos. I think you'd really like it. You could learn something from him.
Honestly probably. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. You can learn something from everybody, no matter how retarded they are, how much of a bad person they are. There's at least one thing that you can learn from them. Whether it's like, oh my gosh, like the amount of courage that this absolutely toxic person shows is just wonderful. You know what I mean? Don't do the toxic shit, but there's something you can garner from this horrible person.
But I think like one thing you have similar with him, or like one aspect that is the same, is that he doesn't give a fuck about like, if a girl is shutting him down or, whatever she's saying, he just like doesn't care. He's just,
well, here's the thing. Here's the secret for everybody out there. We all care. You know what I mean? It bothers everybody, but
we all care.
It depends. It depends on what degree, whether you show it or not. You know what I mean? Whether it genuinely affects you in your heart, stuff like that, or if you can brush it off and logic it out. It's like, hey, this girl, whatever, if you want to do the destiny approach, this girl wasn't meant for me. Or you could do the logical approach, like, hey, in the combination of where she is in life right now, what she's looking for, how I messaged her whatever, her menstrual cycle, all of this shit comes into play. Like you literally can add all of it together and be like, wow, that all made it happen where we didn't meet up. And that isn't necessarily have to do, like, that doesn't have to crush my ego or anything.
Yeah. Just to clarify, you've never had sex, right?
Yeah, never. I've never even thought about it, actually.
I'm asexual.
I just get so ingrained in my studies, and they're so important to me. I'm too busy studying the ways of the sword.
Yeah. You do the samurai way, bro. No sex, only exercise.
That's right, baby.
It keeps you ready to go.
Any other hinge stories?
The last thing I think I'll say is that some of these girls need to like learn how to fucking talk, because the other girl I messaged you about, I sent you her convo. I sent her 2 more chats. So I sent her another. So first I start off with like a compliment and I asked her a question, right? She answered the question. No follow-up and no nothing. I asked her another question. She answered the question with like a few words. And the crazy thing about it is she gave me a fucking rose, bro.
Oh, that means like she's extra into you or something.
You only can give one a month. She gave me a fucking rose and she only messages me like the answers to my questions.
I have a few
nothing
things to
else.
say about that. One,
Tell
the
me.
rose could have easily been an accident because it does that prompt for you where it pulls up and it says, "Do you want to give them a rose?" And so maybe she just clicked OK, like to get out of the screen.
Okay, that's true.
That's possible. Two, dude, imagine being a girl and you're cute and you have good pictures on a dating profile. You're gonna have there's like 70% guys on these dating sites. I think
I
it's
know.
like 65% on Hinge or something. You're gonna have, and guys are gonna message every single girl they think is even okay. So this girl has 100,000 messages on her shit. The fact that she's even responding to you is a miracle, seeing as you're you're you.
No,
You're you.
actually, I beg to differ because I think now it says doctor as like my
Ooh.
occupation, so my value went super high.
Do you think you'll have more matches and
I think-
meetups?
I think that's a lot of the reason why I'm getting so many matches, and it's a lot of like. So the reason it's a lot of brown people too is that like in my culture it's so sick, but if you're like an educated girl, you need someone who's as educated, makes as much money as you do. So I'm getting a lot of like, dentistry students, medicine students, like doctors, dentists, engineers, and stuff as like my people I match with. And like, it's weird, but like the guys for some reason like can't handle the girls making more money, but it's all like also a societal expectation. So when they see like doctor, they're more likely to swipe right, I think.
Well, there's also, I mean, that's probably extra pronounced for brown people, but I mean that's definitely a thing for everybody. Like
Yeah.
girls date across and up on the spectrum. So it's like,
Mhm.
and by spectrum I mean autism. So
Yeah.
they either
And
date
I'm
across
higher than everyone else.
or up in the autistic spectrum.
Can't beat me in that spectrum.
They need someone like a super autistic girl needs
Mm-hmm.
someone who can barely function as a human being.
Well, you're looking at him.
And here he is, folks. Here he is.
Yeah. I've been described like that multiple times. He can barely function. Oh shit, my name's on here again.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I know. I wrote it down, so I have to fucking edit it out. Thanks for that, man.
Okay.
You always seem to give me extra work. You really do.
I'm glad it's not going to be there at least. It's so frustrating though, like, and I keep getting ghosted when I'm like, hey, let's meet up, and it's even more annoying. I'm like, we're having like a good convo, and like, I get it, like you got to be like wary, but come on, like, I don't think talking for like an extra few days is gonna make it any difference.
No, don't do that.
And
yeah,
that's the thing. Like, I think you were the one who told me about this, but the longer you talk, like, the longer or the more likely it is they're gonna lose interest.
right.
The
dating apps is a little bit different. There's kind of like a golden zone where it's like you need to build up enough rapport over the thing to get like their interest or for them to feel comfortable enough and know you enough, and they've like looked at your profile enough times because they've talked to you for a little while. So you don't ask them fucking immediately unless you feel like it's on, right? But yeah, you don't want to last forever either. Like if you do it for like multiple days before you ask, that's just probably not going to happen. Like you probably, and that's why you also have to be on it for dating apps. Whereas like normal, you're like, whatever, met this girl on the street, you try to do like a scarcity thing where you're like, yo, I'm barely on here to talk to you, kind of a thing. You don't talk to her all the time. You're like, look, I'm a busy man.
I approached you on the street, but now I'm not interested.
Yeah. Oh no, not interested anymore. I'm a cold man.
I paid the subway fare so I could come talk to you. But now
you ain't
everything's different.
shit to me. You ain't shit, bitch.
Who are you again? Whose number is this?
But yeah, then but yeah, for that's why you have to be on it for the dating apps, because you kind of have like one day, maybe two, to like, not necessarily like, but you have less time to like get them on a date because they don't see you, they don't know who you are.
There's so many other guys on there that like, if you message them for too long, they'll be like, oh, I'm bored of this guy. This new guy though, he's exciting.
Exactly. Right.
And he wants to meet up, so he's probably into me. So I don't know, it's a weird like ADHD kind of thing where you have to jump on it.
And
but yeah, I'm excited.
And I'll tell the sponsor of our podcast this week. It's Playing with Fire, the YouTube video account or whatever. They do online dating, and he's really good.
Are you serious? Do we actually have a sponsor?
We don't have a sponsor, but I do recommend it to you and anyone else doing online dating who is a guy, who is a guy. And he's the best. He's the best that I've seen. And it's not close as far as online dating apps go. But yeah.
Paul Janka, is that his name?
I have no fucking idea what his name. I've never seen his name once in my life. But yeah, Playing with Fire is the YouTube account.
Women are attracted to dominant men. Text example. Wow. I love guys that give advice like this.
What do you mean?
Like they give advice of like how to get girls,
sex advice,
whatever,
and seduction advice, and
all of it. Yeah.
Genuinely,
I don't think it works in every. No, I think it's different. Like you gotta, the principles are okay, but I think you have to like play it by like circumstance.
What do you mean? I'm sure he says that in some of his videos.
Well, like.
And then he gives you various circumstances and what you should do in those situations.
I haven't seen any of his thing, but like, a lot of these guys just give like overarching things like, oh, women love dominant men.
Yeah, but that's what the video title is, to hook you in. Then you go into it and then it gives more nuanced details. I know, but you shouldn't be saying that.
Jeez.
Here's the thing, like sometimes any kind of a thing like that is bad, but like to say that, the people who do this kind of a thing, they're like this, I don't know. It's just.
Here's my advice. Just be a nice guy. All right. If you be a nice guy, then women will like you. All right. Don't kill anyone.
You only get to generalize about race. You don't get to generalize about other people. Okay.
All right. Fine. That works. That's what I'm best at.
All right. Let's call it, bro. Hit us up at gmail.com and that is unprofessional at gmail.com. That is unprofessional at gmail.com. Hit us up with any topics, any suggestions, or if you just want to tell Dr. Ken's little bitch boy or that he doesn't belong in the United States, I would accept that too. In fact, everyone, get a hold of Dr. Ken and tell him he doesn't belong here, please.
There's gonna be a bunch of emails saying that.
I'll put his phone number in the
in the details. Not my phone number, put my email. Okay,
I'll put his email.
Texts.
Okay,
email's better. I can just delete them without reading them.
No, okay, we're putting the phone number then. All right, it's been real, dude. Good luck with the dominating women and being toxic, and you have a wonderful time in New York, and try not to cry yourself to sleep tonight. Okay.
To all of you, stay toxic as well.
Deuces.